Copy.
I think we're hot.
You're hot.
Facebook, YouTube Live.
Welcome to the Prospectors Radio Show, the talk show for our community. Please welcome Rich Cooley, Indiana Gold Hunter Dennis Dayton, Kathleen Biffle, and your host, Tim Grimes.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of Prospector Radio. I'm your host, Baby Swiftwater. Joining me tonight is the Indiana Gold Hunter Dennis Dayton, Rich Cooley. Tim's not here, but I'm here. So what's going on, guys?
Nothing.
Nothing. I see we got a football player over here, too. Who might that be?
We got a movie star with a host, and we got a football player.
Nice. I'm just going to...
I'm the newest member of the Green Bay Packers.
I like your shield.
Called the pick.
It's pretty cool.
As you can see, I got my costume on.
Wait, where's it at? Oh, there it is, Rich. I like that. I like Scott's, too. Scott's got a nice costume on.
It's mosquito repellent, 2021.
Nice. It works. Wait a minute. Let me take my glasses off so I can see.
It's funny.
The light hurts my eyes.
Yeah.
We'll put them back on. There we go. Let me.
You got your glasses on crooked.
I'm gonna take them off. I'll make you see everything clear. Let me go get Tim, and I'll be right back. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
I'll get Tim.
So how did everything go, guys, on Halloween? You guys do a lot of candy?
We had a pretty good turnout in my area. I mean, it started off as really good. Had a lot of kids, and then it started putting her down. Cats and dogs raining. I mean, so we tucked ourselves underneath the garage overhang there, and we had still a pretty good many people. I guess the kids got smart, and Mom and Daddy drove them around with the back of the cabs open on the vehicles, and they would jump out and go get candy, and then jump back in, go to the next house. And
you know what's funny? You ask yourself back in the day, would you have been able to do that? Say, Mom, Dad, I want you to drive me around.
nope.
No.
Hell no.
No. You didn't want them to drive you around.
Look at me and say, "You got 2 feet. Use them."
But if they drove you around, it was too slow. You couldn't hit every house. They couldn't keep up with you. You could run faster hitting every house than they could driving you. You know?
I mean, we're in a neighborhood, and there was, on my street, there's pretty good houses, probably 8 or 10 in a row, I mean, but they were still like vehicle to vehicle to vehicle to vehicle, stopping,
Right.
starting.
It's like, you know what? It's like I see all these parents giving their kids a ride to school. I'm like, dude, back in my day, if you've seen somebody got dropped off at school, it was because they were already freaking late.
Right. And it didn't matter. My dad was already at work, so you walked your butt to school.
Heck yeah.
Late or not.
I walked 4.5 blocks every day.
Oh,
Uphill both ways in the snow.
yeah.
Yeah, I walked to middle school and junior high and high school, and
All
even
of them.
elementary school.
All of them. Every one we walked to.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was fun back then because it was like, well, we get, when you're walking home, you're like, good, I get to get away from everybody unless you walk with somebody. But you're
I
like,
walked to the bus stop. The bus stop when I was a kid seemed like a long walk.
Yeah.
But, I've been back to where I grew up in Wisconsin before. It was quite a few years after, we moved from there actually to Oklahoma and then Indiana. And, when I was a kid thinking how I thought it was that far of a walk. And in reality, when you're an adult, it wasn't that far at all. But, man, it seemed like a long walk.
Sure. It was. You had little leg.
Yeah.
Our legs were littler, and it was rougher.
Right.
Hang on a second, guys.
I was just saying.
So how'd your boy NASCAR do today, Scott?
Well, let me just say, if he screwed up anymore, he should have just hit the wall.
Yeah.
What place did he come in?
Shoot, you know what? I don't even know.
Oh,
Yeah, they didn't even. I don't think he wasn't even in the top 10. It was like early in the race, he got a freaking speeding penalty from coming into the pits too quick, and then with 100 laps to go, which on that short track is really not that many, he got another speeding and had to go to the back of the pack again. And he already come from the back all the way back up to number 6. I'm like, really?
Wow.
But yeah, Alex Bowman won it. And that's one good thing because he wasn't in the points championship. So none of the other guys that's actually in the championship won. So my guy still got 2 wins, and everybody else has just been in there by points.
Oh. What's the warning for? Warning. What's the warning for? Warning. Warning.
Let me guess.
And warning. Warning.
What are them for? Cover slips.
Warning. Warning. And warning. And maybe warning. How many warnings do you got? Warning. What are those warnings for? Warning. What's it say though? Can you read the bottom of it for me? I can't see that far. Uh-oh. He did say warning. This is kind of scary.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Yeah, right.
Hey, play the disclaimer, dude. Play the disclaimer.
Right.
No!
That's why. Don't worry.
You've been warned.
Hell, we were warned numerous times.
Funny.
Oh, mercy. Oh, okay. Well, talk amongst yourselves for a second. I have to do something real quick for.
Well, we were talking about trick or treating.
Oh, okay. Keep talking about it.
Yeah. Carry on.
Carry on.
We pretty much, the kids just kept coming, even though it was raining. They were in the back of the cars and running out and running back in, and so I got rid of all the crap candy first this year, and I got to keep the good stuff for me.
This is the first time they actually in many years that they went trick or treating on Halloween.
Well, tonight's actually Halloween.
Halloween's on like a Monday or Tuesday or whatever. They always seem like they do it like the Saturday or Sunday prior to,
You got to remember tonight's Halloween too, not yesterday.
Yeah. So basically, ours work as in our towns are not too far apart, so they kind of separate them so the kids get to go to this town on a Friday night, this town on a Saturday night, and this town on a Sunday night.
It's starting to be like an art to go trick or treat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, so we get kids from other towns, on our night, and then our people go to their towns on the other nights or something. They just pick different developments to where there's a lot of houses that they know are going to be there, and then they just hit them routes and stay on that one road and just go the whole way around the community and stock up.
You used to go to every house that had the light on.
Ever.
It had the light on, it was subject to get knocked.
Yeah, that's the way you have it now. Basically, if you have a light on, you better have candy. If not,
Yeah, that was pretty much the whole street. Always they all had their light on.
we didn't really have as many people as we did last year. I mean, but it rained last year too, so
Gotcha.
it seems like there's not that many houses with lights on anymore.
No, not like there used to be.
Yeah.
Well, nowadays people's afraid to have somebody freaking knock on the door because they didn't call first.
Yeah.
Or text.
Yeah.
Daddy, did you guys do any trick or treating there?
No.
You guys don't do it, or do you live far away from town?
No, it's just where I live. There's no, I mean, it's kind of like off the, I don't know.
It's off the beat. Yeah.
Just on the outside of it, like in town, and there's really not, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 houses here. So,
Right. It's kind of off the beaten trail.
Right.
yeah.
Kind of like ours is. We're away from town.
I didn't see one trick or treater
No.
anywhere where I'm at.
No, none here neither. Nope.
Yeah, if you do something wrong, you got beggars, I guess.
Yeah. They got all these big housing developments, and so I'm sure they'd just be in there trick or treating, you know?
Well, I mean, out here, this is Black Canyon City, so I mean, they probably had some people going to people they knew, but I never seen anybody walk up and down the road or nothing like that.
Right?
So,
No, I wouldn't think so. Right?
although this kind of shit Kansas now, because now it's why everything's going to flip to Thanksgiving stuff.
Oh, yeah, because now tomorrow's November 1st, so here comes Thanksgiving.
Of course, I can give Lowe's credit because they've been selling Christmas stuff and Christmas trees for the last month and a half.
They like to start earlier.
You ain't a joking, buddy.
It's ridiculous.
They're like Black Friday. We'll sell it today.
Yeah. Yeah, screw Black Friday. That stuff's going on sale now.
Yeah, everybody's panicked because Black Friday's not going to be the same. Why is that? Because there ain't stuff on the shelves.
It'll be there by Black Friday.
I'm pretty sure.
They're getting them ships sent up to Florida.
You know what's really jostle on me is like the grocery prices and stuff like that. Everybody's like pumping stuff up. I'm like, dude, this stuff was made here in America. You don't have to pump the price up. It's the same stuff we've been buying for years.
Yeah, but it's supply and demand now.
Well, we're still making it in America. We're not. It's not on an off. It ain't a tanker somewhere.
I know. But
well, it's still the same. It's the same demand.
We're not getting the other crap, so it's like, ooh, our stuff's worth more money now.
Well, that's bull crap.
I agree, it's bull crap. Yeah, I agree.
I think there's like certain things just should have a cap on what you can do and what you can't do, like gas stations, grocery stores.
Yeah,
things that actually would prohibit anybody and everybody from doing anything.
Yes, gas and groceries.
Yep.
Two most essential items, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Because you have to work, so you have to have gas to get to work, to buy
True.
food, so you can feed your family. So it's like, okay, those two things should.
What do they call that? Price gouging.
Right.
Yeah.
They should have caps where they can't go above a certain price. That's it.
No.
Yeah.
Especially like, say, just like right off the top, everybody's ate Hamburger Helper, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's made in America, correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yep. Why would the price go up on Hamburger Helper when it's still the same demand?
I know. Well, she went to the store today and was going to get me oyster crackers, those little oyster crackers used.
Yeah, we got like 4 or 5 bags.
Chili and stuff. Today that she went to the store, it was $4.35 a bag.
What?
Good Lord.
Yeah. So it's like, won't be having oyster crackers.
No.
There's a stranger just dropped in our little
Stranger danger.
Stranger danger. I don't think he can hear us, obviously.
He should. His microphone's not muted.
No. Shannon?
Hey, guys.
Can you? Yeah, oh, there you are.
How's it going?
Oh, okay. How are you doing?
Good.
How's your feet?
Yeah, how's them feet and legs doing? Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna lose the toenails on
What?
both big toes.
Oh.
We got into a section that was pretty bad, and so when I was walking, it was pounding the big toes into the front of my shoes, and toenails turned black, so those are gonna fall off here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Those are goners.
One of those things, man.
Yes, it is. Ouch.
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
Doing okay. You're hanging in there. You're the hot topic, though.
Yeah. How was the response?
Yeah, and how was the response?
The thing is since we've already done this once before, it was we learned a lot from doing the first walk, and so we kind of knew that that there were going to be a lot of people that followed it.
Right.
But we didn't really anticipate on Facebook going to the extremes that they did, really to block our videos, they pixelated our videos, they cut the sound out of our videos, all this stuff, because we'd load it and everybody because we had people in various states that we would immediately contact and go, hey, did you guys see the video? How's it look? And they're like, oh yeah, everything's great. And within 20 minutes, Facebook would pixelate the video, so it would freeze the video and just be all pixelized. And then in some cases, when they didn't do that, they just cut the sound off. And then they wouldn't allow people to share it, or it wouldn't go to their feeds. I mean, they did everything that they could to block that video.
Imagine that.
Well, I shared every one of them I can.
Yeah, it's really disappointing that that it's come to that. And and that was one of the reasons why we did the walk, was really to just try to wake people up, because it's so much bigger than just a water rights issue. It's about losing our country, and because that's really about where we're at.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we was just talking about. Right before you popped in.
Where's Shad and Kathleen?
Oh, they're never here on Sundays no more.
Oh, they're not?
No, very rarely are they here on Sundays.
Oh.
They're usually just here on Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they just got kids, and like tonight, trick or treating.
Trick or treat.
Yeah. Dude, you aren't even going to believe how much candy we have at our house. So we moved to what's called the Cowboy Capital here in California, and it's a town called Oakdale. It's really it's in the middle of farmland. We got the hell out of the Bay Area, which we love it here.
Right.
But all of our neighbors behind us and stuff, they do these elaborate decorations and music and lights and all this stuff just for Halloween. So the town puts together a map that all the kids get to come to. And so they truck them over, and they bring them over in vans and crap. And we're right on the corner where all this shit starts. So I'm not kidding you guys. We probably went and got 15 of those big Costco-sized bags of candy.
Right.
We're concerned that we're going to run out.
Oh, geez. Oh, so
I'm not kidding you, man.
Yours hasn't started yet?
No, it hasn't got dark yet. So it's going to be in about 45 minutes or so.
Oh, they do yours the right way, when it gets dark.
Yes.
And actually on Halloween.
Yeah, I'm sure that we'll have a few probably early birds, but our neighbor kids and stuff, because they know we're very generous, and
they'll be early birds and come back later
and fill their damn bag.
Yeah, got to try to fill it up.
Yeah. So cool. Have you guys been seeing? Because I have some things I'm going to show you here.
Okay.
And we can talk about the walk or whatever you want, but
I've been seeing.
That you've been going over to the Screamer mine,
right?
You've heard about that? What we've been pulling out of there. Well, I just happen to have some things here.
Some nice specimens.
I love them short videos, Shannon, that you're posting where you guys are metal detecting, finding those rocks.
Yeah, dude.
All right, I'm gonna make you full screen. Okay.
Ooh, look at that!
Not me.
Hang on.
So that's one. There's another one, and
it's not full screen, Tim.
I know. I seen that. Now he's.
There's just gold that goes all through these. Look at this sucker here. This is a big one.
Trying to make him full screen.
That's nice.
Hang on a second, Shannon. Tim, keep switching it.
I'm trying. There it is. Okay.
Let me go back. Okay.
Yeah. It was having problems.
Look at all the gold in that thing.
Oh, very nice. I like that. Now, is that from the Screamer mine?
It is, and this is what it looks like. Well, here's one more piece. This one's about 50% gold. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like half of that's gold.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Yeah, these are the small pieces, but what we do is we slab cut it, and that's what you end up with.
Oh, okay, I can see it there.
And then once you slab all these chunks, which some of these rocks are literally like the size of small watermelons. Then we have them made into cabs like that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Make them into cabs.
And we've got a whole bunch of these cabs that Steve Want did that we sent over to Dave Rabioff, and he took them down to a big jewelry convention down in Palm Springs this last week. And anyway, they were saying they were disappointed. The jurors were disappointed because they're too big.
Really?
Yeah. So, and these are pretty big. I mean, if you look at those as a pendant, they're pretty big, and they're probably a little bit large, especially for a woman's ring. But
Yeah.
God, they're loaded full of freaking gold. I mean, I'm sure you guys can see the glistening of that.
Oh yeah, I can
Yeah,
see
but-
the shine.
You know what? A cab makes a great necklace though for women. So I don't think they're that big.
It does, but the cabs that we have, these other ones, Scott, they're like freaking that big, man. They're huge. They're bigger than an almond, and they're like 4 millimeters thick. And so everybody wants them like 2 millimeters and half that size. So all we're going to end up doing from now on is just cutting them into slabs, and we'll get rid of them for the owner that way. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, that'll be
Let them go get it cut themselves.
Yeah, and because that's what they all want to do, is they want to do their own damn jewelry pieces and whatever, then that's fine.
right.
Heck
Yeah, so we picked up a rock saw and all kinds of stuff, but right now it's been pretty cool because the weather's been cooperative. You know, every single time we've gone out there, and I mean every single time we've gone out there, we've metal detected and found chunks of rock like that just scream with the monsters. Some of them scream with the 7,000.
Mm-hmm.
You know that those suckers are loaded when the 7,000 start screaming, you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. I like that.
Prime time.
Mhm.
Yeah. So back to this walk thing. So yeah, we started in Barstow, actually 7 miles south of Barstow, walked across the Mojave Desert. And when we did that, we had 50-mile-an-hour headwinds coming across the desert, which was insane. I was really kind of hoping Shad would be here because I wanted to joke about an item that I found there that I wanted to really and it was a stick-on penis that was
Oh,
about that big
Jesus.
around, and like that long, and it was sunburned. A suction cup device, but
In the desert.
I'd never even seen one of those before. And walking along, and alongside of the
I
road,
think
you're
I
like,
seen
what
that
the
in the video. You showed that in the video, didn't you, Shannon?
Yeah, that's
seen
pretty
that video.
wild. Yeah,
That's fun.
it's the shit that you find on the roads, man.
Right on the
Found
median.
actually right outside of the prison at a Corcoran prison, I found a big long shank that was
Wow.
like this long with a freaking duct tape handle, and it was like some piece of metal and laying on the side of the road. I didn't see any blood on it or body, so
Uh-huh.
but now we found a lot of pretty cool stuff. I found a brand new, really nice, uber thick, like minus 30-degree Coleman sleeping bag that literally blew off somebody's truck that morning. And so, yeah, I snagged that one. That was actually probably the nicest thing that we found. But tools, hammers, pliers. Jerry, no shit, found a 10-millimeter socket, which
That's a rarity. That's like
Yeah,
finding a
never happened.
Sasquatch.
took 325 miles, but we finally found one,
You're the only person that's ever found a 10-millimeter
I
socket.
know. Yeah, no, it was pretty fun though. And we had probably 15 people calling the media, newspapers and radio and TV stations, like in Bakersfield, in Barstow,
Uh-huh.
and Modesto and Fresno. And because they're all liberal media, none of them would even contact us. None of them would come out and report on it. And it's just sad. We had press releases made up and everything, and nobody would touch it.
Right.
Crick.
Of course not. That sounds about right. So how many miles was it total, Shannon? I don't know if you said that.
325.
325 miles. Holy.
Yeah, we
moly.
walked.
Long walk.
We walked 25 miles every single day for 13 straight days.
So what time did that usually start each day, and what time did it end?
Well, typically we waited until it got light. We would leave, we would be either camped alongside the road, because I just slept in my little box trailer,
Uh-huh.
just a 10-foot by 6-foot. And I had a cot in there and, a couple sleeping bags. But so we'd get up, wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. We had a generator and a Keurig, and and so make a cup of coffee and have a muffin or something and a banana. And then as soon as it started getting light, we would get in position where we ended the day before.
Mm-hmm.
And then right when it was light enough where it wasn't a danger for the walker, we would start walking, and we would typically, depending on the route, how much uphill, downhill, side hill, how much times you had to go in the ditch or whatever, if you're just straight walking on a road that doesn't have a whole lot of traffic, you can average 3 miles an hour. But, when you're going into a ditch and you're dealing with, uneven ground and headwinds, and it slows you down significantly. So there were a few days that we walked from 7 o'clock in the morning until 4:30 that afternoon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it was brutal. And, I've lost a lot of skin. I'm looking at the pieces of skin that are still missing off my toes.
Wow. Wow.
The cool thing was, though, is that we really were able to form those alliances and the partnerships and friendships and things like that with the ag groups. And they love us to death. And, me living in the heart of farmland here too, we just did some posts today on some of the local ag pages, and all these guys heard about us and everything like that. So word of mouth got out. But, unless we start fighting this crap, and not necessarily just the suction dredge issues, but as a whole, the crap that's going on in the schools and what's happening to the farmers with their water, and, the things that are going on with the ranchers and loggers. And unless we start joining hands here and start fighting back against this, we're going to lose our country. And I'm actually concerned that maybe we already have.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Yep. It's a strange world we live in right now.
You ain't joking.
Yeah, Shannon, I remember a couple of years ago, you were actually talking about how you were trying to get, hikers and bicyclists and stuff like that, because at the time it was mainly just affecting the dredgers.
Mm-hmm.
You were trying to get them because you kept telling them, hey, you guys, it's not only going to affect us, eventually they're going to come after you, the ones that like to go hiking, and then the ones that like to go, mountain biking, and look what's happened.
Yeah, and that's exactly what did happen.
Yep.
The off-roaders, we joined their fight, which was down along the coastal, the southern portion of the coast. And we went to a lot of the community meetings and some of the county meetings and stuff, fighting for the off-roaders. And, and still today, we have one of the groups, Blue Ribbon Coalition, that we've partnered very closely with. But these other ones, they look at us as, dirty cousin loving backwoods hillbillies, and they just, they don't believe anything that we say when we tell them, hey, look, they're going to come for you. You guys are going to lose everything. And, and they just didn't believe it. Well, now they do, because they're seeing it firsthand. But the problem is that it's always reactive, instead of proactive. Is they get attacked and they lose something, and then they compromise and have meetings and, oh, well, we'll give up this, but let us keep this. And so, of course, the Democrats go, okay, here's your little tiny piece of pie, and we're going to take this big giant chunk over here. Mm-hmm. And that's what happens instead of being proactive and really fighting back. But, guys, I'll tell you, and how closely I follow politics, is I guess what's really kind of enlightening right now is the people are starting to fight back, and it's the mothers with the school boards and things like that are really giving me hope, because they're not all conservative ladies that are doing this. I mean, that's from both sides of the spectrum, and they're just getting pissed, and that's what it's going to take. It's going to take basically a reckoning, in order to stand up to this Marxism bullshit. And this is it, man. I mean, we've gone beyond the fork in the road, and we're going down that hard road to the left here, and it's going to be really difficult to turn around and come back. When we got tens of millions of people that have come in who are much more reliable voters than you. And that's the reason why they're bringing them in, is without any type of, vaccine mandates or mask mandates. They require those for you, but not for them.
Well, wait till they start cutting them a check for $120,000 a person.
They can't.
Yeah, I actually put that up yesterday, and that I don't see that flying. I mean, it would be that, but then again, too, with the Republicans, the Mitch McConnells of the world that roll over on their back like a pussy, it's hard to say. Is they may go, well, maybe we don't give them $455,000. Maybe we only give them 200. See how good I am? I'm trying to help. Oh, fuck
yeah. But yet there's millions of homeless here in our country that could use some help and stuff, and they don't do nothing for them. Yeah, the veterans. That's what I mean. And they don't.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of them that are actually out there because they want to be. But
but still, they don't give them nothing. But let's give some illegals that crossed over close to 500,000. That's fine.
Yeah. So if you come into the country illegally committing a felony, we're going to give you $500,000, or for your family, it's $1 million.
Yeah, it's like,
you got to be kidding me.
It just don't make sense at all. It's like anybody that passed that is out of their mind.
Well, in Marxism, in that ideology and that thought process, what they want is, without coming out saying, hey, we have open borders, come to America, and we're going to give you amnesty, and therefore you can vote Democrat for the rest of your life, even after you die.
Right.
That's how they do that is, oh, you come here and we're just going to give you a shitload of money, which is sends out the signal to everybody in the world, come to America right now because you're going to get a ton of money and, there's no penalty.
Right. That's craziness. It's
sickening.
It is. It is sickening. That's the problem. If we went to any of them countries, we'd just be locked up. But a hard way to go.
Yep.
Hey,
come here.
Shannon, I got a question for you. I heard in one of your videos you said something about something going on here in Black Canyon City.
Yeah.
Yes, we just read about that, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to be looking at that tomorrow, Scott. I called Hoagland. Kevin didn't know anything about it as of yet, but we got an email sent to us, and I've got Jerry researching this right now. But it looks like it's same thing, is that you've got the BLM is coming along trying to close about 500,000 acres of your public lands, and we battled that a couple of years ago there in Arizona, and I can't remember what area. I think it was in the superstitions there. But what we found out was Arizona had actually passed a law stating that they were going to, as a state, recognize RS 2477 and that they couldn't close those roads. And so when that whole proposal came out, we contacted the attorney general that actually wrote that, and he got all pissed off, and so he called BLM and said, you guys can't do that. It's illegal for you to pass this kind of crap here in Arizona. And so BLM backed down. Well, here we are 4 years later, and they're going right back at the same exact thing that they did before.
Do you know where it's at or what you're looking at?
I don't off the top of my head. I have it in an email and stuff, and I've got Jerry researching it. Like I say, I'll know tomorrow, and then we're going to go down the same road. Is the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to call the head of the BLM and go, what the hell do you guys think you're doing? You did this shit 4 years ago, and you can't. It's against state law. And so anyway, we're going to, we'll back them down, and we're going to get the help of some Idaho politicians there that, conservatives that helped before. And we may end up going public with it and having, all of the public make calls and stuff like that too. But
well, shoot me a wire because I don't know of anything that's been closed down, but I mean, because I'm right here, I live here now.
Well, we had a problem when we were on the road that because it was sent to me on my phone, is I could see it in the link, and I would click on the BLM's website that was supposedly would take me to whatever that proposal was,
right?
And it wouldn't load. So then we went to the BLM page, and we could see the proposal, and then you click on that link off of their page, separate from the link that was sent to me, and it would just sit there until it timed out. So for some reason, the BLM didn't want us to see it, or whatever excuse that they're going to make that it just wouldn't load.
Right.
But we'll find out what the issue is, which is kind of ironic too. And you bring that up about the BLM and problems with them. Is normally most of our issues have to do with Forest Service, and we've actually developed a pretty good relationship with the Forest Service. They've asked me to actually go and speak at the annual District Rangers Convention and talk about mining law, which is a monumental, I think, step in the right direction. The same thing with the law enforcement officers. The LEOs have asked me to come and speak as well. So we're making those kind of maneuvers with them. But I reached out to a lady about a year ago because we were starting to see, is when we found out that the BLM was 6.5 years behind in their paperwork here in California, as far as data entry and as far as checking land status when you file a mining claim. So, normally you file a mining claim, they check land status when you file the claim. It gets entered, and a week later, all of the other data and all that kind of BS gets entered. Well, here in California, they were 6.5 years behind on the paperwork.
Well, holy cow.
What do we pay these people for?
Yeah. Wow.
6.5 years. Arizona was probably the best state, and they were 6 months behind. So anyway, I reached out to this. She's one of the head BLM ladies, whatever, that's in the adjudication department for the entire BLM in the country. And anyway, they're using, obviously, the whole China virus as an excuse not to do their job even more. And anyway, she just called me like 2 days ago, and I was walking, so I didn't get a chance to take her call. But now they're 7.5 years behind. They haven't done anything since we brought it all to everybody's attention. I mean, seriously, we give these guys hundreds of millions of dollars every year of our taxpayer money. What the hell do they do?
Obviously not their job. Right?
7.5 years. Do you know how long it takes to check land status? 3 minutes. 3, if that.
So it sounds like they're doing nothing at all, literally.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Literally nothing at all.
I don't know, man. We need a reboot of stuff.
Yeah,
this
that's
shit isn't working.
You're right. That's what we need. A reboot reset button.
Yep.
What we need right now. But we got to find it first.
Yeah.
You could borrow Hillary's.
Yeah, I don't think Hillary's button is going to work.
Yeah.
Shit.
No, we need a better one.
How many people are attributed to suicides related to her family?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Some.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to commit suicide by shooting myself in the back of the head with a shotgun twice.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I just don't get it either. It's crazy. So what else has been happening in Amra? You getting new claims? Bet you did.
Yeah, we have. We've actually got several new claims. We got a couple of really, really good ones in New Mexico and also Montana. Some good dredge claims up in Montana. And but the New Mexico claims were really a surprise. We got contacted by a guy that had been following Amra on Facebook for 5 or 6 years or something like that. And he reached out to Jeff at Proline, and then Jeff hooked me up with him. And he's like, yeah, I got these spots over here. They're just kicking out all this gold. And he was showing me pictures holding up his hand like that with about a half ounce a day that he was metal detecting off these spots. I'm like, holy crap, man. I go, have you got them filed? No, don't plan to. He goes, well, why don't you guys file on them and I'll just maintain them. Okay. So yeah, anyway, so we picked up those claims, and in the wintertime, it would be a really good spot to take a monster 1000 and go hit those critters. So we've become quite good with those monster 1000s. So
nice. Yes.
The last year and a half.
Yeah. Your game has changed.
Yeah.
Is what I would say.
It's amazing how small of a piece of gold the monsters find. And the 7,000 is $7,000 metal detector. I mean,
right.
Giant. it'll detect this stuff, but it'll just kind of wobble. It'll just wobble, a little bit like that, where the monster just goes, holy shit, this is full of gold,
That's the kind I want. Yeah.
Yeah. But what we've learned too is that when you have rocks that are, maybe about this big, is we flip every single rock over and metal detect that. And what's really interesting about this stuff, Tim, is that the rocks and everything that we're finding, these are in the tailing piles that the old timers threw away in the 1930s.
Right.
So there's a tunnel that goes underground, and it's not very deep, from the surface.
Mm-hmm.
It goes about 250 feet in, and then it's got a stope that provides ventilation. But about every 50 to 80 to 100 feet, they stoped down on this vein, which is steep. It's pretty steep. It's like 55 degrees. And it just had this incredibly high-grade, rich ore body that went down in these chutes about every 50 to 80 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And so they stoped down on that, and they blew it, obviously blasted it up. We found blasting caps and all kinds of stuff, and, wires and whatnot. But anyway, they would bring all this stuff up to the surface, and they would look at it, and if they didn't see any gold, they threw it in the tailing pile.
Right.
So, but what's interesting is the amount of tailing piles that we have is probably close to 2 acres of tailing piles.
Wow.
And all this stuff that we have found have been in an area that I'm going to say is probably 50 by 50, and we've only gone down about maybe 18 inches in one of them. These things are 12 to 15 feet deep.
Yeah.
So you can kind of figure that out. Just on the surface is just incredibly loaded. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, we're pretty pumped about that.
Yeah,
So,
you should be. That's a great one. That's a good score for sure.
I was gonna say, I bet you are.
Yeah.
That smile.
Yeah, right. That's the way I'd be too. I'd just be smiling. Just be like, yeah.
well, I mean, you go up there, and I mean, if you go more than 30 minutes without finding a rock that screams, then that's a really, really bad day. And I think we've only had one out of 20 days that took more than 30 minutes to find a giant screamer. So, and then once you slab those, I mean, imagine if you had most of the rock, and all these rocks that I showed you guys here, those we actually cracked open with a hammer before we really realized what we had. Okay. But imagine a rock like this that's full of gold all the way through it. And 2 millimeters is if you stack 2 dimes together, 2 dimes.
Okay.
How many of those slabs could you get out of a rock this size? And then you cut it in half again. And how many of those cabs would you be able to get out of there? Now, granted, the entire rock's probably not going to have gold, although we've had rocks that the entire rock was full of fucking gold. So, I mean, you can get up to 20, 30 cabs out of one rock this size. And each one of those is probably worth, each little chunk is probably worth $800.
Wow.
So obviously the mine owner is extremely happy. So I'm actually working right now on selling some of these things for him. And he's been a very big supporter of Amra, and a very good friend. I've known him for many, many, many moons. So
cool.
Yeah. So we'll probably be giving away some of those screamer stuff at the dinner this year.
Nice.
And by the way, what time is that dinner?
That is December 3rd. And it's in Lodi, California, which is just north of Stockton. And we partnered this year with Delta Gold Diggers, which is, I think, the GPA's largest chapter that they have. They're based out of Stockton. But anyway, so Robert has decided to have a gold show at the Wine Festival Fairgrounds. And so there's a gold show Saturday and a gold show Sunday. And it's an enormous building. And the back half of the building where the show is, we're walling that off and curtaining it off. And the other half of that is going to become the dinner that Saturday night at the gold show.
Okay.
pretty cool. So it's something that, there hasn't been a gold show in California in 2 years.
Right.
So we're hoping that, it's going to bring a whole lot of people.
Now, I know Kevin called the other night and he announced the dates of this year's gold shows. Are you guys going to be there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Probably will be at most of them. The ones that are, way back east, probably where you guys are,
Right.
We probably won't make it to those. I'd like to. We just don't have any claims out there or any land, for people to really mine on. So, it's not really cost effective, I guess, for us to go out there. I know a lot of the people out there know us.
Sure.
But you can only make so much money selling a couple of shirts when you're, driving 2,000 miles or something.
Yeah, remember East Coast, you can still make a donation to Amra because you know what? Maybe sometime you're going to come out west.
Yeah, well, and the thing is that, and I do a really piss poor job, and I'll be the first one to admit this, about telling everybody about all of the people that we help behind the scenes. And we probably helped 3 different miners just on this 2-week walk that, had problems with the Forest Service and somebody stamping on their, neck and, denying them access to their mining claims and stuff like that. And I really should publicize that kind of stuff more, because most of the money that we take in really goes to kind of help those type of things, as well as obviously the lawsuit out of Idaho, which we're still fighting. We just secured a fisheries biologist expert as an expert witness, which is $16,000. We're in the wrong business, guys. Yeah.
I heard that.
Hey, stick with it, Shannon. You're going to win.
Well, we got to fight this, and that's the whole reason why we formed Amra, was to fight. And, the Soros-funded radical environmentalists, when they come and attack me personally, that just tells me I'm right over the target, and they're really afraid. And so, they're trying to run us out of money. And that's exactly, the whole purpose behind this lawsuit. It's utterly bullshit, to claim that we harm any type of fish or fish habitat when you have a fisheries biologist from the Forest Service coming up to you while you're dredging, telling you, God, I wish you guys could dredge bank to bank because this creates perfect fish habitat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, duh. And they're claiming because they fish the river that I owe them $2 million because of loss of habitat. Really? Well, the sad part is, guys, is we've spent over $250,000 in legal fees on this case. I'm not kidding you.
I bet.
$250 million.
Yeah.
And, they keep dragging it out. And then, of course, we got a liberal judge and that was appointed by Obama and ironically named Bush. So, but anyway, and so we'll see. It looks like we're probably going to be in that in the courtroom, I would say probably in the spring of next year.
Okay.
So, yeah, and we're going to fight it to the end. Pacific Legal Foundation has expressed a lot of extreme interest in taking the case if necessary through the Ninth Circuit and then even to the United States Supreme Court if necessary. Although I'll admit, I just saw what Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett ruled on, in favor of the liberals just 2 days ago. What the, it's just.
I guess I missed that. What was it?
I don't even remember what it was against the vax mandates against some school teachers or something.
Really?
I would say. Yeah, I don't understand how that's even constitutional when you can require somebody to put something in their body.
Right.
It's extortion, in my opinion. They require you to get an injection of something that has been proven conclusively that it's freaking dangerous as hell to get this vaccine. And now they're going to require that as a condition of employment.
Yeah.
I don't understand how. I haven't read the case. And so, when I got done with the walk on Friday, I did nothing but watch college football yesterday, and I did yard work today, so I haven't done a whole lot of stuff.
Well, I'm surprised you did anything that.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, back to this PLF thing. So, if they actually pick up the case at that point, and I'm pretty hopeful they will. It sounds like they will take it. Then that stops the bleeding of us having to pay for that because they take it pro bono. They would cover all of the expenses. And the thing is, guys, PLF doesn't lose cases. They don't.
Good.
So if they want this case, and they told me very specifically, this is the exact case we were looking for, that tells me that they really believe that they can win this.
Right.
So they're the same group or the same law firm that represented Brandon Reinhardt on his dredge case that never did get heard by the Supreme Court. But so I think that that's something that they would like to challenge that at the Ninth Circuit, the California liberal Ninth Circuit. And then if you lose there, then it goes to the Supreme Court. So We'll see what happens.
Hopefully they take it. That would be great. Yeah. Because it's just that legal stuff. It's like you said, just drains you dry.
Monotonous.
Yeah, it is monotonous.
There's a lot of things that I would love to tell you guys, but you'd have to shut the live feed.
You have to turn the show off. Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell you guys all kinds of stuff, but I don't because every single thing that I do is watched by these environmental groups, and anyway, but we did manage to get out mining last year a little bit, got to swim a little bit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, just you know what? No worries, because we didn't advertise you're going to be on here tonight, so nobody even knows you're here except for everybody listening right now.
Yeah. Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, but but I'm sure they probably watch
They'll
it.
probably watch it and follow it. So
You've been on here so many times, they probably monitor us.
Well, probably so. Yeah, that's probably
what I mean. He's back there again. Let's see what he's going to say. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, have you guys been getting out at all?
Nope.
I haven't got out one time this year.
My season started yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's the only one that's just starting.
So did any of you guys go up to Alaska, or was that just Shad and Kathleen?
Shad and Kathleen.
Yeah, I guess Jimbo went up there, and I don't even know that he even mined that much.
Well, I mean, this is the second year he went up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they wanted him to work, or if he just went up there to mine or have fun, But I know he went up there.
Yeah, I got a picture. It looks like he got his cow elk, but just about a week ago, I was walking and phone went off, and there's Jimmy with his cow. But Don, Sparky, my partner, he went up there. He was up there for 3 months.
Wow.
So, but they had some really bad weather. That's the thing about Alaska, is that the weather is really unpredictable, and you can be dredging, and then all of a sudden the water comes up 4 feet, and you can't even reach your equipment again.
Right.
And then it'll drop down to a trickle where you can hop across rocks on the damn river. It's just really wild stuff.
Yeah, this year I guess it was really, really low, from what I understand.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well.
Well, Shannon, you know as well as I do, you got to be able to adapt to a river.
Yeah.
It's never a constant.
Yeah, we got lucky this last year. We found a spot in a particular state, in a particular river, that the old timers, it's kind of a unique area, as it was a bedrock section of the river that was probably like, I don't know, half a mile long. And anyway, it was all exposed bedrock. Well, there was a spring that came in right at the bedrock. And so it was always constantly pumping water. And the old timers did divert the water around, but they could never keep it out of this bowled out area. And so anyway, we went down in there and we found a rock that was probably, I don't know, 15 feet wide. It looked like a giant coin. but it was like 2.5 feet thick, but it was like 15 feet around. And when we hit it, it looked like bedrock. Well, what we found is it was a rock, and we managed to get a big winch on it underwater, and we drug it out of the way. And the old timers left that virgin ground underneath there. And I mean virgin. And this was a very, very well-known river with amazing gold. And we found this hard, it was black. It looked like the color of shale, but it was compressed something. I don't even know what it was, but it was just like a rock. And so when Jerry was down there prying this crap out of the cracks, he was bringing it up in chunks like this and handing it, and you could see 1/4 ounce size nuggets sticking out of all this black shit. We just stuck it on the bedrock and started banging it with other rocks, and there was just gold, chunky gold. The biggest one was a 1/2 ounce. Just started falling out all over the ground. It was like, holy crap, man. Yeah, wild times. But and so we know that there's more of that in this particular area, and we're hoping that we can get back down and maybe go work a little bit of that. So
heck yeah.
Yeah. That's just outside of Oslo, Norway, by the way.
Okay. That's what I figured.
Norway.
I know you go down there a lot to Norway.
Yeah.
Prospect.
Yeah. They got pretty girls there.
They do. Yeah. The best place to go. I understand. Hey, why not?
Yeah, actually, we covered Norway last week. So
Yeah. Hey, see, we led into this story for you. That's why.
So what the heck's Hoagland been up to? I haven't talked to Kevin in a couple of months. I probably talked to him last week, but prior to that, it was probably at least a month or so before that.
Last time I heard, he's got so much stuff going on, he didn't know which way to go. So that's the only thing I know.
Wow. So
of course, I reckon.
Actually, we've got a thing I'm going to work with Kevin on here over probably the next couple of weeks, and that is Italian Bar, which is a very famous area here in California. They have an LDMA camp down there, but and you guys may have seen, I've been posting about this on Facebook. So in 1952, Congress passed that they were going to make this 1.5 mile section of the Stanislaus River a public recreation area, and they withdrew it. So LDMA camp is here and goes upstream. Then there's this rec area, and then Amra has a claim that goes down. It was the Buzzard's old claim where he found those 800 ounces,
right
in the 1980s. Well, so these homeless tweakers and these really kind of degenerate people came in. They went to BLM and filed mining claims over the public rec area, and BLM took their money and allowed them to do it. They put up all kinds of no trespassing signs, claim signs, everything. Then they started hauling in motor homes, mobile homes. They ripped the freaking walls out of, and it's just trashed out. There's trucks down there, U-Haul trucks, just trash out, people living in them. And they won't let anybody go down and actually mine or even camp in this area, which is just fundamentally illegal.
Uh-huh.
And Tim, they've been there for 2.5 freaking years.
Holy cow.
So we caught wind of this and went down there. I went there with actually a buddy who's a law enforcement officer, big dude, in my camera. And we filmed this stuff. And then we started really putting pressure on the sheriff's department and the Forest Service and everything else. And so this next Thursday, I have a face-to-face meeting with the supervisor of the Forest Service as well as the elected sheriff to find out who's going to go run these bastards off so we can go in and clean it up. But there's so much trash down there, open sewers that are dumping sewage literally into my drinking water, because our water here at this house comes from the Stanislaus River.
Oh my God.
It's just disgusting. Needles and trashed out motorcycles and cars and trucks. And
wow,
dude, it's just disgusting, man.
Nobody
wants to do anything because, Newsom's all about taking care of the homeless. We got to take care of these homeless guys. Well,
right.
You're violating federal law, and you're running off a man with his daughter that's going to go teach her how to pan, and you're physically threatening to kick his ass. I'm kind of thinking that that's a problem.
That is a problem. That's a big.
So,
yeah.
I'm going to make them go away.
All right. That-
See, here in Arizona, that's when we pull up the old sidearm. We say it's time for you to leave.
Yeah. Well, I can be pretty convincing, even without a firearm, but I'm a devious son of a bitch, you know. And so it's when it's time to go, it's time to go.
Time to go. It's time for you.
But we're going to try the legal route first and have law enforcement officers go in, and we're putting a lot of pressure on them to have these people removed. But I got a video up on our Amra page that if you really want to get disgusted, go look at that thing.
Oh, I want to.
Scott, have you seen that thing?
No, not yet.
It's called the iBar video, and it's just a little 5-minute documentary that I did, and I had an encounter with a guy down there, and I filmed it. Although you'll see that the camera stopped recording for a certain brief amount of time, and the guy came at me, and then I picked the camera starts rolling again when you see him back down at the river, going, "Whoa, dude, what?" You know. So I'm not going to tell you what happened in that interim.
Right.
But,
No, of course not.
Anyway, thankfully nobody got hurt or anything like that.
Jeez.
But
That's crazy though. 2.5 years.
this is a 40-foot mobile home that they drug down there, and literally the walls are gone on the sides of it. And he's built a fire pit inside this structure thing.
What?
Piles of trash the size of pickup trucks. It's just disgusting.
And that's on the Amra. That's on the Amra site.
Yeah, it's also on our Amra YouTube page. So that'd be easiest to find it is go to American Mining Rights YouTube page. And I think it's probably one of the most recent ones because we just shot it a couple of months ago. So, but we have some other videos that that are coming out, and that is specifically about the Screamer mine. So we're going to show people specifically how we do this. Do you know Wade Wilson, don't you?
Name
Yep.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal metal detectorist. Lives in Arizona. His picture was on the cover of ICMJ. Holding his hand like that. He found 255 nuggets in Arizona metal detecting with a monster down there. Wow. He's really good, and he's a very close friend, good friend. And anyway, he came up and he metal detected in the shaft, in the adit actually that we were mining, and we'd metal detected it before. Well, when Wade went in there, instantly started getting a hit, and when we started chiseling out this chunk out of the wall, hell, there was probably 1.5 ounce pocket in an area like that he found, and we've been walking by it for 10 years. Jeez. Yeah.
Can't we find something like that?
Nope. It,
Right?
Because you're not in the right area, man.
I know exactly. That's what it is. We're not in the right
okay.
area.
We're lucky that this area is really well known for pockets. And, we had one of our mines last year that we mined, and before we picked it up, another guy had it. And in 1986, he found a 54-pound pocket of gold in an area about, it was probably the size of a giant watermelon, about like that. 54 pounds. 54 pounds of gold.
That is crazy. You know what?
I can't even imagine that.
No.
I can imagine it. Trust me.
Yeah. Holy.
Imagine a lot more.
I think we should take a quick break. What do you guys think?
yeah.
Okay. Shannon, you going to stick around for a minute? Maybe take a couple calls?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break and we'll
roll that Amra commercial.
I'll roll that beautiful footage. Will do. All right, everybody. We'll be right back.
Do you like to mine for gold? Enjoy prospecting a nice crack in the bedrock? Enjoy getting outdoors to camp, fish, hunt, and hike on your public lands? You plan your trip, load the gear, grab the dog, put the family in the truck, and drive off to a locked gate. A sign says you cannot enter or access your own public lands. Mining claims and public land owned by we the people are being designated as off limits by our own government every single day. Are you concerned about the direction our government government is going? Are you tired of seeing no access, no entry signs on your lands? We are, and we are fighting back. We are AMRA, America Mining Rights Association, the fastest growing small mining advocacy association in America. AMRA is a 501c3 not-for-profit formed by miners, hunters, off-roaders, retired military men, and women to stop the insanity. AMRA was formed to educate, unite, and help the small miners and public land users on their rights. Rights given to us by God. Do you want access to great mining claims? For a small tax-deductible donation to their Miners Legal Fund, your family gains access to proven excellent mining claims across America for an entire year. AMRA challenges the USFS, BLM, EPA, and the other agencies intent upon stopping you from enjoying your own lands. You are who pays these people's wages. It is time they listen to us. We need to unite. And that is what AMRA is doing. As you sit here right now, thousands of acres of public lands are being closed, locked, and blocked from use by you. Are you fed up yet? Join us. Get in on this fight and let's restore America to what our families fought and died for. Freedom. Just visit AmericanMiningRights.com. AmericanMiningRights.com. Also, check us out on Facebook at American Mining Rights Association. AmericanMiningRights.com.
In 1858, gold was discovered in the rivers of New Caledonia. This discovery would spark a massive gold rush. Today, the search for gold is much easier, yet still challenging with Dirt Hog Pay Dirt. At Dirt Hog, we pride ourselves on our gold and guaranteed gold amounts. Just visit DirtHogPayDirt.com today and buy yourself a bag of the best pay dirt concentrates on the market. Order with confidence in Canada and North America. DirtHogPayDirt.com, the best gold concentrates on the market, period. Also, be sure to check out our Honest Bonus program.
If you're interested in gold prospecting or treasure hunting as a career, hobby, passion, or just something you're interested in getting into, you have to visit goldprospectorspace.com. At goldprospectorspace.com, you'll find forums, chats, videos, blogs, sections on dry washing, metal detecting, high banking, and so much more. At goldprospectorspace.com. There's a store, classifieds, and at goldprospectorspace.com every Sunday night at 7:30 Eastern Time, tune in to Prospectors Radio, the talk show for gold prospectors and treasure hunters. GoldProspectorspace.com is a social network with thousands of members, and everything you need is at GoldProspectorspace.com. Sign up today and get connected to others who share your love of gold and gold prospecting. Let the treasure hunt begin at GoldProspectorspace.com. GoldProspectorspace.com.
All right, everybody, we're back, and we got a special guest with us. Shannon Poe's here. If you got a question you want to ask Shannon, you can give us a call at 419-520-7574. So, Shannon, are you still there?
I am.
All right. Just don't see you yet.
This is one of the actual screamer rocks. I just wanted to show you the size of these things. And,
there you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. That's
average size. We found bigger. We've obviously found smaller and stuff too, but this one really screams with the monster. And you know, the monster only goes about that deep through solid rock. So when you look at a rock that's 4 or 5 inches thick like this, you know that you've got a significant portion of it that's just seamed with gold in there.
Yeah. Mercy. That would be so.
Shannon, when you guys cut that, how will you do it? Will you do it like this or long ways, or how will you guys do that?
Well, what we do is, it's a really good question, is we'll typically try to use a Falcon metal detector, which is a very small one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you have to get right on top of the gold, and we'll try to find where the gold is. The monster will kind of tell you as well, because the closer you get to it, just the sound that it'll make will tell us kind of how deep it is through the rock. And so we'll do a single pass. So like on this rock, I know that it's got a significant amount of gold in the middle. That's actually what I wrote on here, gold in middle, because we've already kind of tested that out. There's no gold on the outside edges here. So we'll probably just start cutting and creeping into it.
Okay.
And until we start to see gold. And then you're going to go every 2 millimeters, you'll cut a slab like that. But we've got a rock saw now. We were having Steve Want do it. I was literally taking rocks like this, putting them in a box and mailing them to North Carolina, which is where Steve moved to. He used to live here in California. And got smart and moved. But anyway, he doesn't have an enormous saw, and it's very time consuming for him to do that. So we have a friend of ours that his uncle died who made cabochons. And so he gave us his rock saw, and it's a 10-inch one. So it'll cut rocks like this with a diamond blade, very thin blade. So it'll cut stuff like this, like butter.
Nice.
So basically what we do is we kind of just keep cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting until we start to see gold. And then we slow down, and it'll tell you if it seemed. I can pretty much tell you after finding, 50 of these rocks that it always goes in an angle, and you can, I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but this seam, you can see that these seams, that's where the gold is it drops out of solution and it actually forms. And so I can tell you right now that the gold runs this way through the rock. So and it'll be wide. I mean, it may be a 1/2 inch wide there. So the best way would be to cut the rock this way, because you're going to end up with probably 30 really nice slabs that have gold all through them that, that look like this piece here.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be wise to do one long cut down the side? That way you could actually see where the gold is and then take off.
Yeah, and it is kind of a crapshoot anyway. But I mean, if you look at this piece here, and hopefully, I can't tell. Let me see if I can. Maybe you can make the.
I can see it sparkling.
Make this the full screen there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so you can see that's actually got a lot of gold on that edge.
Right.
And you could make a really nice cab piece there. But again, you can see that the seams are going this way and the gold is going that way as well. But the gold has a tendency to spread out. And so if you can cut across that instead of with it, otherwise you're going to end up losing a lot of really good gold that you're going to have to grind away in order to make a cab next to a cab next to a cab. You're going to lose a significant portion of that. So, but this is real pretty stuff. I mean, even on the backside of this, hopefully you guys can see that there's a ton of gold just on the backside, and then there's obviously the slab cut. So,
Oh, wow.
Well, it's definitely visible.
Yeah, it definitely makes noise with a metal detector. But one thing I wanted to mention to you guys, and this is going back to the walk, is we started talking to a lot of farmers through Bakersfield and Fresno, and because we walked literally in orchards almost every single day, and row crops and things like that along these back roads. And it's astounding how bad these guys have it. Kind of like the miners is, imagine if you owned 30,000 acres of almond trees in the Central Valley here, which is the breadbasket of the world.
All right, Shannon, hang on. Let's take this caller. All right, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? You got a question for Shannon?
Hi, Ken. Yeah, I've actually got, this is Ray Russo from Juneau, Alaska.
All right, go ahead.
And I've actually got two questions for Shannon. First and foremost, I guess I should say congratulations on that walk. I think you're kind of dumb for walking that far, myself personally. But
you're right.
The question, actually, we've got some new people in our gold prospector space. One in particular guy, Smokey, he's actually from, I don't know, one of the European countries, Scotland, I think. And he wanted to know who you was. Are you actually the originator and the president of Amra? And then the second question is, well, I guess more of a statement, but thanks for sticking up for California. I mean, California is a beautiful state, and I'm glad you're hanging in there and fighting for the American rights.
Well, I appreciate the kind words. And in answer to your question, yes, I'm the founder and the president. We have, I'm the president, janitor, whatever you want to call me. But then we have a 7-person board of directors, and they basically really determine all the things that happen in Amra. I'm kind of the face because I'm the one that everybody sees in the videos, and being the founder is probably have the most extensive background as far as the legal aspects of that involve mining and things like that. And I would agree with you is, believe me, after about the third day of walking 25 miles a day, I was thinking I was pretty stupid as well. But, you know, the thing about staying in California, because Lisa and I had kind of come to a point last year, we had a home in the Bay Area, and it was intolerable to live there anymore. Just the politics and the traffic and the mask mandates and all this other BS is we were fed up and really frustrated. And, you know, she was looking at moving down into, you know, Scotty's backyard there in Arizona. And we're deeply invested in California here. And to be honest with you, somebody needs to stay and fight. And that's kind of what kept us here, is that, you know, somebody's got to fight. And, you know, and that's, I guess, kind of
California is definitely pretty enough to fight for. I mean, it was definitely the Golden State for a reason. I mean,
you're right.
It's an absolutely beautiful country. And my brother lived there. My mother was born there. One of my sisters was born there. You know, so it's just kind of a damn shame to see it turn into such a huge environmentalist program state. And
now it's the lead state.
Taking it out and staying there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, and it's just like the rest of the country, and I'm just going to give you my opinion. There is rampant fraud here in the state of California. And you get outside of, you know, Sacramento or the San Francisco Bay Area, or, you know, even in the LA area, you get outside of those areas and it's pretty conservative. And I mean, you go to Fresno or Bakersfield or pretty much anywhere along the Sierra Nevadas, and it's deeply conservative. And I'll give you an example. Is just Friday, we only had 10 miles left to walk. And I walked that entire 10 miles from the place called the Fruit Yard. It's a little, you know, fruit stand down the road here, to Oakdale. And we literally finished here at the house. We had more people honking and thumbs up and hanging out going, oh, yes, America. And because I'm walking with the American flag, we had more people in this area honking and supporting us than we did in the last 150 miles. Wow. So, you know, it's a deeply, the state is very actually conservative. The problem is you get a crap load of illegals that are voting in this state. And that's just a proven fact. What are the numbers? Hell, who knows? Because they do anything and everything they can to hide them. So I think, you know, at some point, the state either collapses or it gets retained back to really maybe the Reagan areas, because these things always go in cycles if you look throughout history. And I mean, you can go all the way back to the Romans. I don't want to bore you to death, but it goes in waves like this about every 40 years, where it'll go from conservative to liberal, to conservative to liberal, to conservative to liberal. And we're really in that stage right now where, you know, it should be going back to conservative. The problem being is the fraud. And that's something that I don't think that they dealt a whole lot with throughout history. So how is that going to impact California? I don't know, but you know what? I'm staying and fighting. So at least for now. And, it's getting pretty tough to live here with the, you know, cost of living and everything like that. We're lucky. We got the house Lisa actually bought here is, we have 39 solar panels on this home. And so yeah, we're lucky. Our electric bill runs, you know, like $8 a month.
That's nice.
And that's pretty cool. And not only that, we have a swimming pool. So
And what are you paying
All
for
right,
gas?
well, so I'll go ahead and hop off of here and let somebody else give you a shout. But Tim Grimes, Swiftwater, Rich Cooley, thanks, guys, man.
You're welcome.
Hey,
Thank you,
Dennis
Ray.
Deaton,
See you, Ray.
enjoyed that darn fudge I finally sent to you.
Yeah.
there, buddy.
thanks
Catch
for
y'all
calling
later.
in.
God bless.
All right. Thanks, Ray. Bye, buddy. All right. Cool.
So let me get back to, because I want to tell you guys about this farmer that we talked to. So imagine you got 30,000 acres of almond trees, and that's a lot. That's a lot of trees.
Oh, yeah.
So they're required in the very beginning of the year, and I don't know if it's January or February, but they're required to pay the state of California, the California Water Board, who is obviously who we fight with suction dredging. So they're required to pay this enormous fee to the state, and it's per acre foot of water that they need for almonds. And I'm not a farmer, so I can't tell you what that is, but it's many, many tens of thousands of dollars.
Mhm.
So they have to pay that right up front at the beginning of the year. And then the state, in the middle of spring, they decide how much water you're going to get allocated to you. Well, you've already paid for it for all 30,000 acres,
Wow.
but they give you, and in this guy's particular case, they gave him 3% of what he paid for.
Oh,
3%.
see.
Do the
Okay.
math on that. So
No
he had to
refund.
take 8,000 acres of his almond trees and cut them down this year because he didn't have water to actually grow his almonds.
That's crazy. And did they give him back any of his money?
Hell no.
Of course
I
not.
was going to say, hell no.
Of course not.
Not only that is, do the math on that, Tim, is that because that 3% doesn't cover the other 22,000 acres that he
Mhm.
needed water for.
Wow.
So what happened is, because of that little scheme that they have there that you pay for it in advance, and who
Mhm.
knows where the money goes,
Right.
some of these farmers, it instantly just puts them out of business, and they have to sell the family farm that they've had in their fifth generation.
Well, sure.
And so that 3% or 5% or whatever that farm had allocated to them, now they're bankrupt and they're moving and going to frickin' Nebraska or somewhere. They actually sell that 5% of their water to the farmer that already had to fallow, 8,000 acres. So he builds his water that way, but it's at 2 or 3 times the rate that he had to pay the water board. So he ends up paying this enormous amount of money just to water his damn crops.
Sure. And that's why everything goes higher and higher. So your almond milk costs more, and your
Yeah.
that's why. It's just that trickle down effect that has from him
Well,
getting
and
screwed he gets screwed by the water board, but he has to make it up somehow. So it's like, what do? I got to
Well,
water
and
my trees.
That's the thing too, is that, and what is really remarkable, and it's even more devious than that,
Mhm.
is the largest farm ownership, the largest owner of farms in the United States is Bill Gates.
I was gonna say it's Bill Gates, right? Mm-hmm.
So what's happening is that when these farmers go bankrupt and they have no alternative, they're bankrupt. The
Right.
banks are going to take back their property, their homes, and everything else that their families homesteaded on. He sweeps in and buys these things for next to nothing.
Right.
Well, Bill Gates is a eugenist. He believes that the world is just completely overpopulated, and he's just an evil man,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But and so these farms, he starts buying them up, and China is buying up a lot of these farms as well.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So it's almost a nefarious and devious plot.
Right,
And
that's
you really
what it
want to
is.
look at it.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
It sure works out well for them billionaires, doesn't it?
Yeah, but what are they up to with all this land?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's my thinking. Why do they want all these farms? Mhm.
So some of these guys have actually gotten to the point where they're, drilling wells. And so
Okay.
the state now is trying to do all types of regulation, and they want to put meters and everything on wells. So they have to pay by the gallon on the wells. And so
That ain't right either.
No, you got people
No.
drilling wells in the middle of the night out in the middle of an orchard and hiding the well and all that. I mean, it's gotten to the point where, you gotta go rogue to survive. And that's what a lot of these guys are doing. And it's sad.
It is sad. It's terrible. If you drill it, it's down there in the earth. It's your water.
On your property, I don't
Exactly
blame.
right.
That's the way I see it. Yeah. That's your
Piss me
land.
off.
It's on your land.
Yeah, I drilled on my land. I'd hide it too. I wouldn't say a word. I would do whatever I had to do.
Yeah.
I bought this land from the top clear to hell.
That's what's nice. I mean, we have a well. It's like, that's what's great. We don't have a water bill. It's like, that's the way it should be. They pay to have that well put in. That's it. That's the end of the
you get a state like California that just is completely tyrannical.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care if they violate the law because they know it's like suction dredging. They know that you got to go out and try to raise $250,000 to sue them to prove in court. And there's a good chance in this state, you're going to end up getting a liberal judge that's an activist that's going to rule for the liberal party because the party is above all else. And then you draw it out and then you try to go to the Ninth Circuit, a liberal court, and then you get a 3% hope and prayer and cross your fingers that you're going to get it heard by the Supreme Court. And by then you're in at $1 million and you're done. You're toast.
Yeah.
You're done.
And also now, didn't they pass that thing about the no small gas engine now allowed?
Yeah, that's it's supposed to be happening in 2030.
Oh, that's when it's happening? Oh, okay.
Yeah, good luck with that because I wonder who Newsom is going to get to do all of his landscaping because I can tell you right now, I would be willing to bet you that they speak Spanish and they all use gas-powered motors,
It's just chainsaws and all that stuff.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
They don't care though. It's their little utopia.
Who needs a chainsaw? They don't log anything.
Yeah.
But I did want to tell you this other thing, and this is I'll leave you with this thing that we saw.
All right.
So I'm walking through this little town outside of Bakersfield, heading towards Corcoran, and this is all farmland. It's flat as a freaking board all through there. And I can see off in the distance, and I'm just keep walking and walking and walking, and it's this huge dirt ramp that is like 1.5 miles long, and it just slowly builds up, and I can see that it's for an overpass on this road that I'm walking up, and I'm like, the heck is that? I mean, because it's like really tall, like 80 feet tall. I thought, what the? And I get closer and closer and closer, and I see all of this really, really brand new, sparkling, dozers and excavators and road graders, a crane. It's all brand new, and each one of these things is probably worth $500,000, $1 million. And then another one, like 5 miles up the road, another overpass, and all this brand new equipment. And finally, though, there was actually a flagger and a construction crew that was actually working on a Sunday. And I said, what the hell is this? Is this that high-speed rail BS that Newsom wanted? And they're like, yeah. And I go, what? I'm not going to tell you on the screen.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck? This is, I go, what company has all this brand new equipment? And he's like, every one of the overpasses has brand new equipment. It was part of the bill that he passed. And this is high-speed rail from Bakersfield to frickin' Fresno, dude.
Right.
Who commutes from Bakersfield to Fresno and vice versa? Nobody. It just doesn't happen. That's like commuting from Kingman to Prescott. It doesn't happen. Oh, let's put in $1 billion high-speed rail. But that's what they did is they bought all of this brand new equipment for each one of these overpasses.
Wow.
And I don't know how many there are. We probably saw 5 or 6 of them, and they had $10, $15 million in equipment at each one that was just sitting there behind fences. And not only that, is that allegedly this high-speed rail does like 250 miles an hour or 200 miles an hour or whatever it is.
Right.
Well, this is on a road that already has trains that cross it that have the little arms that come down. Why don't you do that, dude? It's like $50,000. Put the little things down. Why are you spending like $80 million per overpass. It blew my mind, and it was so disappointing to see.
Oh,
You know? Yeah, it's just that's another example of the California.
Only in California.
Yeah, but
I hate to say tax write-off.
Didn't Newsom get recalled or whatever?
Yeah, and I think that the only reason he stayed in office there, Dennis, is through fraud, in my opinion. You know, and when you can, all of it, everything is vote by mail here in California, and so, you know, and you guys are probably reading the news, is that all these nursing homes and stuff like that have 100% voting, you know, statistic,
Right.
and they're all voting Democrat. Well,
Sure
gee,
do.
imagine that. There's just it doesn't add up, man. It's
Yeah,
all
it doesn't.
fraud.
Especially when you had so many people that signed that petition to recall him to have someone else run against him, and he won. Then he won again.
Well, the recall election failed is basically what they're saying. Is that they're, you know, it's kind of like saying that Joe Biden got 85 million votes. Do you believe it or not?
Right.
No. You know, there's no freaking way that he got 85 million votes.
No.
There's no way that Newsom got enough votes. This whole state was so motivated to kick this asshole out that, you know, I think that if you really knew the truth, he probably lost in a landslide, but because of, you know, whatever they do behind the scenes, didn't happen. But it's just, they don't have any morals, not like you and I do.
It's crazy. It's just all
Pretty sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tragedy.
It's
Yeah,
sickening.
only there. I don't know. Well, Shannon, buddy, we thank you for stopping by.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and I'm sorry about the confusion last week. As I read your message there, Scott, it said, you know, talk to me after the walk. Well, I didn't take that as after that day's walk. I took it as after the 2-week walk. So my bad, and I apologize for that.
Oh no, you're good. Like I said, we weren't advertising. We just wanted you to come on, surprise like it, and everybody. Like I said, I've shared a lot of your videos and stuff like that, and I know a lot of other people see them too. So we might as well get you on here and you know, see how it went and see you know how it pretty much how it went. So you're good.
Don't be a stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I do need to get on here more often, and you know, all it takes is to have one of you guys send me a message. And Tuesdays work a lot better than Sundays for me because I try to spend time with Lisa. And,
right.
You know, we've been pretty busy lately, and so I try to save the weekends for her. And
gotcha.
But
reach out to me because we don't have a show on Wednesday.
Right.
But the next time you guys have Hoagland on here, send me a message and I'll call her.
Okay. We'll make sure of it.
All right, guys, I got to go give candy away.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Have a good night, bro.
All right,
Thanks,
see you guys.
Shannon.
Thanks for having me. All right, bye.
Very cool. Always nice when Shannon stops by.
You know what else is nice?
What's that, Scott?
Freaking gold prices, man.
Want some gold prices?
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's what you all been waiting on, I know. Okay. Anyway, we got gold coming in at the asking price of $17.85. It actually went down $14.80.
Okay.
Not good, but it's still hanging around that $1,800 mark, so I can deal with it. Silver actually came in at $23.99, took a hit at 0.16, but $23.99 is down from $24.50, which we'd seen last week. So that's taking a hit. Platinum looks like it's coming in at 1,028, and it's up $1, which is no big deal. Palladium comes in at 2,087, which is actually plus 19, and I'm showing rhodium as unch.
Again?
At 15,250. Yep, it says unch.
Wow.
But the NASDAQ and everything, S&P, that was they were kind of both up. So that would explain a little bit on gold and silver. Usually they go. And if you want to know about Bitcoin, I don't have a clue.
I always like to know about Bitcoin.
I don't know. It's freaking.
I don't even care about Bitcoin.
56,000 for some imaginary money. Cool.
Okay. I'll take that imaginary money all day long. because I'll spend the crap out of that imaginary money. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how.
but you to spend Bitcoin, the person you're going to be buying stuff off has to accept Bitcoin.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, I just sell my Bitcoin to my trader where I purchase my Bitcoin and exchange it for cash or put it on my credit card and I just spend it willy-nilly.
I don't think that's how Bitcoin works.
That's how it works nowadays. Things have changed, Scott, since you were a lad.
It's called electronic currency, buddy.
I
It
understand.
doesn't say let's just trade this for cash.
No, when I buy it or sell it, I can have it deposited into my bank account or put on my Visa card, and then I can buy anything I like with it. It's that simple. It's so easy. A caveman
It's so easy.
A caveman could do it.
Easy peasy.
Right.
Easy peasy, baby. See, Bitcoin's at 61.8. So, I'd spend the crap out of $61,000. Just saying.
I think I knew I could do a couple things with it. Yeah.
I could too.
I would dang sure have a Bobcat backhoe.
I could do some damage with 61,000.
Oh,
Let's say, Rich, you want to do birthdays real quick before we get out of here? Dennis, you want to sing?
yeah, I'll do a quick singing. You guys ready?
I'm always ready for your singing.
All right. Happy Halloween birthday to you.
Ooh.
Happy Halloween birthday to you.
Ooh.
Happy Halloween birthday to you. Boo.
Ooh.
Happy Halloween birthday to you.
Perfect.
Boo.
That was a Halloween birthday song right there, if I ever heard one.
I can do the birthdays, but you'll have to look two people up.
Okay, get my cord. Hang on.
Let me go find them. The two that you're
All
going to
right, let's
highlight.
do the birthdays. Starting off with Alan Huat, Bethany. We have Bob Torok. Let me take my glasses off here. Carl Yearwood, George Hample, Grant Gilbert, James Carlson, John Hooper, Lanny, Lee Johnson, Lisa Kearns, Malcolm Cookie, PK, Pat Hendricks, Pete Needham, Royce D. Pinkston, Russell Hines, and Van. Tomorrow we have Bobby Thompson and Brian Y.
Okay. Who we taking? I don't think that van's our van. Our van's Vandal. So that's not our van.
Pick a couple,
And the
pick a
man.
couple Halloween ones out.
Halloween ones. Oh goodness. What's Halloweenish?
Mm.
All right, let's go. Halloween. Let's go. Goodness. Makes it,
Ain't
You ain't got a clue.
right? All right, let's go. Oh, mercy. All right, let's
The
just
third one down.
willy-nilly. Third one down. Bob Torok. That's the first one. Okay, that's third one down. Bob Torok is from Upper Black Eddy, Pennsylvania. He's around your neck of the woods, Rich. He's into dredging, high banking, and metal detecting. Do you belong to any clubs? The GPTHA and the GPAA. And how did you find the site? A link from Advanced Mining. And he has been around here for
213.
a spell. Oh, since January 9th, 2011.
Darn, he was earlier than me.
And he's
Or earlier than I think it is.
He's a Pennsylvanian, Rich. All right, next, Dennis, give me a number.
Fifth one.
Fifth one down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be George Hample. So George Hample. Let's see what George is from. Oh, another Pennsylvania one. This one's from Clinton, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
He's a beginner prospector. He does not belong to any clubs. Friends recommended him to the site, and that would have been Bill Reese. And what kind of equipment do you use? A pan. And he has been around here for, Scott, guess?
214.
You were closer this time. 2013, May 11th. So happy birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday.
Hope you had a
Happy day, happy day.
spooky birthday. Happy Halloween too. Man. All right. Well, on that note, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. We want to thank everybody for joining
Happy
us. We want-
Halloweeny.
Yeah, we want to thank Shannon for stopping by.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
That's right. And don't forget Tuesday night hangouts with Ed, Just, Dano, and the Treasure Vixens at Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time over there. On
The
their
Vixens.
YouTube. So until Wednesday,
Good night, everybody. Good night, Gold Diggers. Happy Halloween.
Good night.
sayonara. We gone.
Be sure to tune in next at 7:30 for another great show. For updates and more info, please go to www.prospectors